It all makes sense now.
That's funny.
Yeah. And we're back.
Yes. Hello. This is basically like reminisce day for you, huh?
Wait, I gotta do the clap.
Well, we gotta do the clap, guys.
Oh.
The sound.
No,
we need one.
Just one. Hold
on.
Do it again.
Bam.
Bam.
Okay.
There you go. The
Cool.
editor would have strangled you.
Yep.
I forever did
On a
not.
podcast, strangle's
Excuse me.
crazy.
I didn't know what that meant for the longest time until you guys explained it to me. I'm like, oh.
The clap?
That's what the clap is. Explain it to her real quick.
It's to sync the audio because the audio is coming from two different places. One from. But anyway, so the audio, I can sync the clap and then the audio on top of each other, so we get good audio.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
Like, have you seen a waveform for audio?
Yes, I have.
Okay. In the clap, it will have a spike.
Yes.
So you just
the
line up the
spike
spikes.
and the waveform.
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah.
All right.
So we don't have the sound coming from the cameras. It's going to come from the mics.
Yeah, but we have to sync the footage, the visuals to
With
the audio.
the audio.
Yeah.
That makes
so
sense.
So we mute all of these all of these cameras.
We.
And
The
editor
I
does.
provided.
I think
the
that's a lot.
editors.
That's half of it.
The
so.
editor.
Yeah.
When everybody's like, how do you do your podcast? I'm like, in this really nice studio. Not in my kitchen anymore because my friend provides it. So.
No, it's so nice in here.
Oh my God, it's
It is
super
so
nice.
nice.
Oh,
Is this your first time here?
Yes.
one of my coworkers wants to do a podcast, and I don't know how serious she is about it, but I told her that your studio is available for renting hourly. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. 'Cause she was like, oh my God, you know someone that would rent hourly? I was like, yeah, let me know when you're ready. So,
Me and my girls want to do a podcast.
Oh, yeah, we wanna
want
do
to girlies. We want to do a crossover. We're all so funny.
okay.
Like, anyways.
We're so funny. No, I'm just kidding.
So hilarious.
Okay, guys, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hi. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Be Uplifted.
How many episodes are you going to come up with something?
That's why I like it, because I want to see how many he can come up with. And I'm like, that's actually a new one. Oh, that's a new one.
Yeah.
I like it.
I know. It's
He's
like my
going to
favorite.
write it. You see in the calendar in the office, he's going to write them all.
Yeah.
Just so that he remembers all
Well,
of
you
them.
know what's funny is like I'll be hanging out with like Lizette, right? And we'll be listening to music, and then I'll hear something in the background. I'm like, wow, that was a lyric. They wrote that down. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Like James Brown, when he's all
Yeah.
like, and it was like, this sounds good.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I'll keep that.
I
No,
like
that's
that.
so
Keep
funny.
it in.
Like, or the little like noises that they put in the back of songs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like even in Aaliyah, that one song where the baby is like
Oh, yeah.
crying in the background. Like
Crying in the back.
she literally was like, "Hey, put a crying baby in the back."
Timbaland is
maybe
a
not her, but
genius.
Timbaland. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
What, you need a crying baby. That's what'll.
Exactly. Like,
Like,
they
can
did
you
all
imagine Timbaland's just chilling at his pad and he's like babysitting his nephew, and like he hears it coo. He's all like,
Yo.
hold up,
Exactly.
do that again.
Let me record it and put it in
Yeah.
a song.
Wow, how much is the residuals for that baby?
Right?
He has college fund now.
Yeah.
That baby's old now.
Yeah.
Yep.
That baby's old now.
Yeah.
It's a whole ass man now.
Yeah, that's a giant baby.
All right. So today we are going to be discussing how boys versus how girls flirt.
Oh.
So we have 2 singles and 2 in a relationship. So we'll see what comes of this topic. I have some questions to ask.
Oh, you know what we should have done since we're both single? We should have went on a date and you guys tell us what to say. Like, we'll just. I think that would be sick as
That
hell.
would have been so
Hell
funny.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, we should have done that.
Like, you could
Oh
just.
my God.
Oh, I'd be so down.
I would've-
I just want to see if you guys can make me laugh. If I could keep a straight face.
I would've
through
come
the
up
whole
with the
thing.
crazy-
Oh my
craziness.
gosh.
Dude,
Yeah.
Rich would say some crazy shit and you would not be able to keep a straight face.
I would feel sorry for you guys if I was on the mic or if I was the one
Oh
telling
yeah, if
you
you
guys
were the
what
one
to
in the
say.
ear, oh that would be
Yeah.
I would
crazy.
I'll probably be
hilarious.
serious. I'd be like, listen, just tell her she looks lovely right now. Effervescent.
He's like effervescent.
Yeah, let's go back to the simp
Something about
episode.
effervescence.
Yes. Would you like to be up in Vincent?
Okay, so let's start with this question: do you think boys and girls flirt differently?
Of course,
Yes.
yes.
Absolutely.
How so?
Well, girls don't. They just suck at it.
Okay, so what are some? So let's start with this question because there's a lot of we're gonna go into it. what are some subtle ways that boys flirt that girls might not immediately notice? Let's start with the boys.
The
Subtle
the
ways.
subtle simping.
Yep.
It starts off with that little subtle, like, oh, let me do this for you. Let me do. Oh, I'll be right there. You know, I can help you out with that.
Like opening
Being
the door.
attentive.
Okay, we're talking about like in that.
So not in a relationship, in the flirting
No, I'm saying
stage,
like
okay?
adult wise.
Yeah.
Because obviously, when we were like in elementary school, I just pull their hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you flirt, right? At junior high school is pretty much the same.
Be
You pu-
mean.
You
Yeah.
punch her.
Be mean.
You punch her.
Yeah.
No, you don't punch her, but you know, but you know what I mean. Yeah. But we're talking about like like
That makes sense.
We can do both. Well, you gave examples of young, and so what about as an
Yeah.
adult? What is a subtle way that you flirt? So nothing like, oh, bring flowers or anything, because I'm talking subtle ways.
Yeah,
Subtle-
now we choke. Yeah.
we just come up.
You just walk
Yeah.
I choose you.
Yep.
No,
Like Darth Vadering.
Right?
basically just that, like like what people would consider simp. Like if you refer to our last
Okay,
episode.
so you walk into a bar and you see a nice lady and she's sitting near you. What would you do? You have
What
your
was-
drink, she has her drink. What's your pickup line?
Excuse
Yeah, how
me,
you
baby
doing?
girl. Can I buy you a drink? Or
How you
So you're
doing?
gonna
Maybe next
Joey
time.
Tribbiani.
Yes.
How you doing?
How you doing?
So your subtle way of simping is by starting conversation.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
taking initiative.
if you're gonna flirt, you need to find a way in, right?
Common ground.
Yeah. Or I'll
Okay.
call it more of a way in.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then
Oh,
you,
yeah.
Yeah.
then you start talking, and then you like reptiles? How about we go to the zoo?
Okay.
Nice.
It works, guys.
Damn.
what are
I'm
your
such
some
a,
subtle
That's such a
ways?
trap. I love the zoo.
Well, so the original question is if it's different, and I think that it sucks because girls are not as inclined to initiate.
Okay. Most girls.
Most girls in general, right? And I think that sucks because if somebody finds you attractive, I think that their subtle way of what's it called, of flirting or whatever is, well, I walked by him twice.
Oh no, honey.
It's like, yo, like, can you tell me
Yeah.
something? But no, they think that their presence is enough. So
What is a subtle way that you would flirt if you saw a girl that you found attractive? So again, nothing obvious but subtle.
I don't know. I don't know how to flirt.
You know what I think yours is, without you even knowing it, is being funny,
But that's
making her laugh.
with everybody though.
No,
There's a certain way
There's a
that you
certain
make girls
way.
laugh that you think are attractive.
Is there? I don't know. I just
Yeah, I know you
It's
don't
like,
know.
I
That's why I
just
said I don't
do
think you
it.
even know that you do
yeah.
it.
I think there's more. I think I don't know if you notice it, but it's more attention to that one person.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. When he jokes, it's more like it's like a switch turns on.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, oh, he likes that girl.
Yeah.
oh, interesting. I gotta watch.
It's not super obvious though, so don't think you're like, oh, you know, like loud and it's like, here's a magic trick. It's subtle, so it's good.
I was like, wait, am I a pirate? What's going on?
Homie the clown.
Yeah.
Right, so it's subtle. It's
That's
good.
crazy.
It's good. Okay.
No, but being around you, we know if
Right.
you're
I
attracted
think
to
'cause y'all
somebody.
are so close.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So we see it.
Because I'm
Yeah.
like that with my brother. Like, I know when he likes someone and he doesn't like someone. You can tell.
Okay.
What about for girls, babe? What do you think is a subtle way that girls flirt when they first initially are attracted to someone? So obviously there's this difference in flirting when you're like later down in the relationship, like you know
First
each other.
meeting someone, I tell them they look nice. I'm like, you look nice today.
Okay.
Yeah, I start very little.
That's
little
your move?
compliments.
Little
No,
compliments?
I'm very. You know me. I'm like so blunt. Like if I like someone, I'm.
She
so
she
blunt
walked
about
by
it.
a guide running today,
And I was like, Zam Zaddy.
Wow.
She hella said that. I was like, is that my next husband? That's crazy. So like, I'm very about it. Like, if I like someone, I literally tell them like, I find you attractive. Do you have a girlfriend or a wife? No. Let's talk. Like, take me
Okay.
out.
so there's no subtle with you.
No, I'm
Okay.
very like gung ho, and if you're not into it, it's cool. It's just.
Well, what do you
like,
say
no.
in girls in general? Would you say like knowing friends and girls? What are some subtle moves you've noticed girls do?
Oh my gosh, their voices get higher. They're more giggly. They're very feminine.
Their
and the
feminine comes out.
Yeah, they put little boosie away. They're like all like proper. Very proper.
Is it true about the neckline? They say put their hair back.
Oh, for sure. I do
show
that.
the neckline?
I didn't even notice that I did that until someone pointed it out. Like I do I'll start playing with not playing with my hair like this, like some girls do, but like I'll fix it. Like, I'll just start like fixing my hair all of a sudden. And they're like, or like when I had really good hair when I was younger, I would just like flip it, and it would just look all luxurious.
Oh, I totally, yep.
Without,
I see it.
like,
Ooh!
yeah.
Well, I heard
spicy.
that when girls are attracted to somebody, they show where you can feel their pulse, so their neck and their wrists.
Also, eyes dilate.
Oh, like they like expose like
Yeah.
their hair or like they're like show more of skin on their. Oh, that's interesting.
Also, with body language, you'll notice that people point their feet to where they want to be at. So if they're paying attention to you, you'll see that their knees or their feet will point towards you.
Yeah. So I actually have that question too. So that's my next question. So good job. What role does body language or nonverbal cues play in flirting between boys and girls? So if you
Well-
could give examples.
Like when I have a boner.
So there's one.
That's one way to know, ladies and gentlemen.
When you're dancing and you rub up against her, you go, yeah, I'm flirting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Too close, my next is playing.
Right? Feel a little poke coming through. So, what about boys? So, I think girls' body language is a lot more obvious, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I think that when it comes to body language, girls tend to be more obvious than guys with the
for
flirting,
sure.
with the giggling, with the gentle touches. Like
Yes.
a lot of girls would, they'll
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that. Oh my God, stop! Like that. What about boys? What is a gentle, nonverbal, like body language or so like cues when you guys are flirting?
I think that we would puff up our chest to show that we're somebody that can provide that can protect, flexing
true,
and then
actually.
also putting their hands, like their thumbs in their pockets, drawing attention to their crotch.
Interesting.
Wow.
That's actually true. I've seen that.
Crazy.
Like their
I'm
posture
like,
changes almost,
Yeah.
their stance.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What about you?
That does make sense.
Not necessarily you, maybe some examples of your own, but just in general that you've noticed with guys.
I think guys seem like they get lost in that conversation. Like that's like their way of like giving you the attention at that point.
Oh, so they're like kind of what he says, like their whole body, everything is towards you.
Yeah.
And they're engaging with you a lot.
Yeah, but it's a lot
Okay.
more, like a lot more smiley and then like more like inviting.
Yeah, we'll lie.
Lie.
We'll lie. Yep.
I think when guys are younger, it's more of what you said though, where they're like mean, like they like push the girl
It's
or
so
like
mean when
Yeah.
you're little, pulling up the hair, pushing in the sandbox.
I don't know what it is. I've never tried to study it, but it seems like
what is that? Yeah, what is that? What is your
Is
theory?
it like cute aggression? You know,
Like where does that come from, you think, where a guy thinks flirting at a young age, obviously, is to be physically like mean to a girl? Whether it's like making fun of her or like pushing her in the sandbox.
it might be the frustration of not really understanding how you're feeling. Because you're so young, you don't understand that emotion yet, or you're not,
makes
you know what I mean. You might not have gone through puberty yet.
Yeah.
So it's like all these feelings that you don't really understand because you're hanging out with, let's say, primarily boys, or let's say, so you're not really like that with your friends. But then you meet somebody and it's like, oh, this weird feeling.
That makes
Oh,
sense.
that
And you
does
don't know
make
where
sense.
to place the energy.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
treat them like your other friends.
Because you're rough with your boys.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that makes
mean,
sense.
It could also be like a subconscious display of dominance. Just because I want, we're programmed to be providers and protectors.
Right.
So if I could beat you up, I could protect you too.
Oh,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
another good theory.
I don't know. I just made that up.
Oh
But
yeah, that's like
I've seen that with girls too, though, how they're like mean to boys that they like at the
Yeah.
young age. I think I know.
Oh, that's true. I think that has more to do with the fact that like they don't want to embarrass themselves, that the guy know that
Yeah.
that they have a crush or that she has it. So she does the opposite. Like my oldest daughter did that a lot. Like she would come home and be like, he's stupid. And immediately we knew that she had a crush on the dude. Like we'd be like, oh, so you like him? Oh, she'd get so defensive. She's like, no, he's so stupid, and like,
Oh, so you super like him.
and then we'd find her diary and it'd be open on the bed. I love so, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay. So you did like him,
Just
you
an
know?
entire slam book dedicated to him.
Exactly. So
That's so funny.
what about cultural differences in flirting? Do you think there's differences in the way certain cultures flirt? Like, for example, in the Philippines, courting is a big deal, right? Like, there is no flirting. It's very much like, I show up at your house, I see if your parents like me, I keep showing up until you take me as your man, you know?
Yeah.
Do you think that that plays a role in different cultures flirting? Not just Philippines, because obviously we just
Yeah,
stated
I think
that.
American culture, the flirting is a little bit more outward. Whereas, I don't know, there's just different, like, I guess rules. Like, if you go to certain parts of Asia, like I give you, like, let's say I give you my number, I expect a call like almost immediately. That's when you know you like each other.
Right.
Whereas here, it's like, I gotta wait to 2 weeks or 24.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's
however
the
you
3-day
don't wanna
rule.
seem desperate
Yeah.
or something like that.
It's just the way that society, I mean, how we deem flirting to be society wise.
What about cultures within America? Like, not to sound racist, do you see any differences in the way that like Hispanic people versus Asian people versus white people flirt with each other?
I'll be honest with you. I think that Latinas and black girls have been the most aggressive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when it
They're
comes to
more
like,
obvious when they like someone.
they're a lot more obvious, and
Confident.
I'm only speaking with my very limited experience. So like it's not. I don't have a big database on this. But yeah, I do know that when I first initially dated, a black girl, and when I dated a Latina, they, it was things moved quickly, and they both initiated it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you guys? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty much the same with Vince. It's like, when you look at like Filipinos and you look at Asians in general, it always depends on like how long they've been away from the motherland, like which generation.
Yeah.
I think it's like if you're like let's say second generation, which is basically my age group, you seem to be more like on the
Reserved.
reserved Filipino side. Then, but your kids are like more on the American version
Yeah.
of aggressiveness. So I think it just depends on the upbringing of that particular person.
I agree with that. Depends on your upbringing and what you're taught, right? Because some people teach their kids to play hard together. Other people teach their kids to tell them your feelings and like put it out on the table,
Right.
So that's true. Do you think the way that boys and girls flirt has changed over the years?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Now people slide up with heart eye emojis in DMs rather than
And eggplants.
rather than compliments, I feel. I mean, they still happen. I just feel like they're a little more rare, as I guess the romantic in me remembers it
Well,
being.
I think that in today's culture, there's a lot more animosity, where there's less repercussions if you go beyond what it is. So that you will get unsolicited.
Some people get vulgar.
Yeah, exactly. So versus with Wendy, there's a lot of trolls that come on to our podcast or onto the live, and I guarantee there's a lot of things that they would not say if it was face to face.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
Sure.
So that's a good point. I think nowadays, because there is a screen to hide behind, there's a lot more confident, creepy guys that are flirting in an inappropriate way.
I don't think
Yeah.
it's confidence, actually, just masking.
Well, yeah, masking behind their little keyboard.
Hiding.
Yeah, that's true.
The little
Yeah, it's
what
the
are they
lack of
called?
accountability or the lack of fear of was it
repercussions.
repercussions.
Yeah, but it's also, I think it's because it's online. It's almost like everybody plays this game of just like throw 50 darts and see what sticks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you
Heart
you,
eyes every girl that's
heart
hot.
eyes every girl's and see who responds. It's similar to how girls are on Tinder or whatever dating apps.
That's
They have an
real.
unlimited choice of all the dudes. So guys are doing the exact same thing because we're coming in there. You have a choice out of, let's say 100 dudes. But realistically, if you went to the bar, you don't have a choice from 100 dudes.
Yeah, that's true.
You're going to get very limited choices.
Yeah.
So that actually segues into my next question. How do you think social media and dating apps has affected the way people flirt nowadays?
They don't.
They don't. Courting, it's like you were saying with courting, because I feel like when you say, how do you flirt, the automatic reaction is, oh, I don't know how to flirt. Because it is true. Like, I do joke around. I'm like, I don't know how to flirt. I'm just blunt. Like, I technically don't know how to flirt. I just know how to be blunt about how I'm feeling. Is that flirting? I don't know. Technically, it's not flirting to some. It's just stating, I like you.
Yeah.
Are you down? You know?
Yeah, I definitely think, in my opinion, obviously I have not been in the dating apps generation, you know, but I feel like it's taken away the initial fun chase, you know,
Yeah.
not the bad chase, but the fun part where you kind of like are figuring it out. There's a little banter back and forth. I swiped, so I know you want me, you know?
I
It's
think
so
this is how I'm
different.
going to flirt now.
What?
I'm just going to be like, hi, I'm attracted to you. Can we see if we can tolerate each other?
Just be straight
Yeah.
for just like an
And
app.
just
That's
see where
what,
it
I
goes.
mean, I mean, that's basically what flirting is. Yeah.
Because that, and it's like, you don't really lose anything with being upfront. You're
Yeah.
not wasting your time, my time, whatever. And it's worked so far.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
still
not
single,
trying to
but
be
I've
like-
had fun dating.
I think we've noticed in a couple of the ones that, if you don't mind me mentioning,
no, for sure.
that some of the problems with guys nowadays is when you are up front, they take it so wrong. So she had told a guy, and it was not even done, in my opinion, in a very creepy way. Like, she was just basically like, I need a guy that communicates and I need a guy that reciprocates. That was basically what her message said after they had gone on one date. And she's like, I'm just telling you so that we don't waste each other's time. You know, like, if you're trying to get to know me for reals, then we could do this. If not, then don't waste my time. And immediately he was like, you're being very aggressive.
I know.
What the
I was
fuck?
like,
He's like, you're being aggressive. I don't know why you don't understand. I'm busy. And she was just like, whoa, like, I'm just telling you my expectations out of the gate so we don't fucking waste time, you know? Like,
Yeah.
so I think that's another thing. It kind of like, guys have this weird fucking phobia of like fully committing. They just want to stay in the flirting, swiping game, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's how. Obviously, again, I'm just speaking from my perception because I'm not in the dating pool right now.
First of all, how old was the guy?
I'm 31. He's 36, I think. 36.
Yeah, so he's still in that generation where everything's kind of out. I guess I could say soft, where they're all in their feelings.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you're all in your feelings, you could be too much into your feelings.
That's real.
You know what I mean? Like you could say you could say that because you're laying out, but then they've grown up in this environment where it's like I
Too
don't know.
much.
It's too much feeling.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's just like, to me, it's almost like, I think you're just being aggressive. Like, no, man.
I was like, I was just communicating
Like,
with
be a
where
man.
it's-
Yeah,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was like, I'm just asking, like, if that's not what you're down to do, then let's just cut it here.
I hope it's
Like,
okay that I shared
Oh
that.
no,
Yeah.
I don't care at all. I just
Yeah.
think it's funny because
I thought it was funny too because she's reading it to me. So she lives with me right now, right?
Yeah.
So I see all of the dating exploit or no, she's not a slut. So I'm not like that, okay? But like all her like the guys in her DM, she'll be like, oh my god, look at this guy, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is
It's
wrong with these
interesting.
people? It's so I'm dating vicariously through her and watching how it goes, just because I'm like, that's fun. Oh, that's weird.
It's
I gotta try to
rough.
find
your
her
own
so I can
reality
troll
show.
her.
It is. It's not
No,
for the
it
week. It's not for the week.
Yeah.
And that's why when I have connected with some good people, I'm like, oh, wow, this does actually feel like winning a dating show when you're out here in this matrix where it's like everything is digital. If you don't meet someone like when you're going to Trader Joe's on the weekend, like you really only have your phone.
Yeah.
Or like being at school. I'm not looking for people at school. Like
Yeah.
I'm working, you know?
Yeah, whatever happened to that?
What?
People like going to decent places like the library or the supermarket or
Yeah.
and like organically meeting
Yeah,
someone.
like
not
talk
at
to
the
me
club
in
to
the
get
middle
fucked
of
up.
me finding Oreos to eat with my peanut butter. Like that's sick, you know?
It's called their phone. How do you don't meet anybody when you could meet somebody on the
Because
phone?
everyone
Yeah, that's what I'm
DoorDashes now. No
yeah.
one goes out to shop anymore.
Wait, I've been to Barnes and Noble twice this week, and it's
Love
only Wednesday.
that. I love Barnes and Noble.
No, but to that guy's defense, though, but I mean, some guys are just not used to somebody being
Upfront.
upfront like that. So
And also to everybody else's defense, when you send a text message, whether it's from a girl to a guy or a guy to a girl or whatever it is that you're into, always imagine that there are two ways to hear it, and there's a good chance that they're going to hear it the wrong way.
Oh, you were talking about because the tone is not
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I bet
Even
the way
with
that
smiley
he
faces.
no, but I bet
No,
I know.
not the
no,
emojis.
Not me with
but
my
I bet the way
sparkles.
that he read it was not the way that you read it to her.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think
know
it's
what I'm saying?
also like perception. We were
Yeah.
talking about earlier, perception and a lot of projection. I think with this particular experience, it was a lot of projection because they were saying I was projecting when I'm like, I think you're actually projecting your anger on me because I wasn't angry at all sending this
Yeah.
message. You know?
And then the whole like smiley face thing too, that's also a cop out too. Because if I were to say something that's borderline like inappropriate,
But
I
I'm
can
not gonna
try
say
to
like
nullify-
fuck you, happy
Yeah.
face. You know what I
No.
mean? It wasn't one of those for sure.
no, but like if I were to say something inappropriate to you or borderline inappropriate and I'm still feeling you out, I can put an LOL or haha or a laughing
That's
emoji.
true. Because
After
Yeah.
I'll
to
add an
get
LOL
out
if
of
I'm
it.
not sure sometimes.
Yeah.
But even not even something inappropriate. It's like, oh, let's have dinner sometime. LOL. Guys will do that just to kind of protect their ego or
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
But to a girl, you'd be like, is he serious or are you fucking around?
Yeah, like which one
So I
is
Well, I
never-
mean, to a guy
That's
too,
true.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
know if
Yeah.
somebody asked me that. If somebody texts me that, and I'll be like, "Why is this a joke to you?"
That's really
You know?
what.
Yeah.
That's really fucked up. Because back in the day, we used to take the whole long cord, drag it
Yeah.
to a room
Yep.
with our phone, and talk to somebody for
Yeah.
hours until your mom goes, "Time for bed."
Yeah,
You know,
that's
and when you
real.
could actually speak to somebody.
Yeah.
There's more of a that text messaging.
Oh my gosh.
awesome.
I have a core memory of my brother on the phone with his best friend in elementary school, and my uncle was putting together a bed in the master bedroom. So I was like, oh, I'm going to call so-and-so. I pick up the house phone. My uncle like has the wrench, everything. And it's my little brother on the phone with his bestie. I'm so bad. He's like in the second grade. All I hear is secret for a secret.
Wow.
And I'm an older sister. I'm
So she's like, oh, let's listen to this.
and I'm like, Uncle Tony, shh. We're listening. And I hung up. I'm a good sister. But the next time I saw him, I was like, hey, Rye, secret for a secret. And he was like, oh. I love it. I still don't know what the secret is. But
No, yeah, I feel like back in the day you had to invest a lot more, which is why the flirting meant more, you know?
like they were
because-
sharing who they had crushes on. That's so cute in the second grade,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm only sharing if you share a secret too. This
Yeah.
is top secret.
Yeah. So how do you guys think peer pressure or friends' opinions affect the way flirting behaviors are between boys and girls or women and men?
I feel personally going through it now, like I get a lot of opinions from all of my girly pops, you know, like obviously, especially you being my bestie sister, like I take yours super seriously. So if I'm like, am I acting crazy? And you're like, babe, you're acting a little crazy. I know to tone it down. You know, I take that seriously, but there's some other homegirls where if they're dating or like, it's not even their dating experience. I just feel like if their intentions in finding someone is different than mine, I'm not going to take their opinion as seriously.
I see that. I feel like sometimes guys, and you guys can correct me because I'm not a man, obviously, like the way that they're influenced, like they don't want to get made fun of by their friends,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So they'll switch up their flirting to like more macho, you know, like machismo, like, hey, what's up, girl? You know,
Oh, yeah.
instead of being like, hey, I really think you're beautiful. Like, would you like to go out sometime? Because that would, referring to the last episode, like, you're a fucking simp, bro. Like, why are you doing it
Right.
that way?
Yeah.
You know, or like,
Even halo mama.
yeah, you know, like they change up the way that they flirt because they don't want to be judged by their friends or judged by the girls' friends, you know,
Yeah.
like, and then for girls, I think that we're influenced because we don't want to be perceived by the guy as like desperate.
Oh,
so we
yeah.
kind of like flirt by playing hard to get, you know,
Self-preserve.
or they kind of like, you give them the eye and then you pull back,
Yes.
you know, you give them
Well-
a smirk and then you pull back, like, because we don't want to be perceived as like thirsty, you know?
Yeah. Well, there's that TikTok where it's like, or this reel where it said how to lose a guy in 10 days. And it says, tell him you have feelings. And it's real.
Yeah.
Like once you're upfront with people, they're gone. But then they always come back.
What are your guys' thoughts on that? The influence of like outsiders' opinions and
With
stuff.
what you said, I would actually be cool with it as long as she respects the fact that I don't feel the same way.
Yeah.
So as long as there's open communication. But what was the original question, or what?
Just how do you think like your friends or people's opinions affect the way women and men flirt nowadays?
So in general, I think that it's heavily influenced. For me, I don't care because they're not in our relationship.
Okay.
So what I
But it's
do,
not a relationship yet. It's just the flirting stages, right?
it doesn't matter. I wouldn't flirt with somebody unless I want it to become a relationship, and I wouldn't be in a relationship unless I wanted to end up with them.
Okay,
you know
so
what I mean?
if your dudes were like talking shit about how like, oh man, you're fucking flirting with that girl, you wouldn't give a shit if you liked her.
Well, it also depends on what they said too.
Okay.
You know, because if they say something that would like if they're, I don't know, give me an example of why they would say something like that.
I don't see him saying something like that either.
Like what?
Like I don't see your main friend group discouraging you in that in that way where they're disparaging the girl. They should actually be encouraging you.
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to help you get the girl, so they're talking shit about like, don't flirt like that. Like you look like stupid or you look like a simp. You know?
Okay,
what I mean?
I thought it was one of those things where
Like, why
way
you doing it? You know, why?
yeah, the way that you described it, I was under the impression that my friend group, like let's say Rich, was telling me, why are you dating her?
Yeah.
No. Like,
Okay.
like they're talking shit about the way you flirt, not who you're flirting
The way
with.
you spit game.
Yeah, like they're making fun of your game. Like, oh, dude, you have no fucking game. Like, this is what you do. You know, like, how does that affect your guys'?
I think that happens all the time. And then you try it, but then if it doesn't feel natural, then you just do what you got to do. I mean, you do.
So
what
you guys
do.
do take some opinions from your dudes about like how to spit game at a girl.
Yeah, because that's how you learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
I would
mean, that's
also
valid.
ask Rich. You know, like if there's something that I wanted to do, and like let's say this girl that I'm dating is into something in particular where Rich is an expert on that and I'm not, then I'll ask him his advice. I'll be like, hey, I don't want to pretend that I'm an expert, but I also don't want to mess this up. How would I, you know, what's something that I can do? Because like there's also times where I know I'm a good DJ, but when I had to DJ the Persian night and an Arabic night, I was like, yo, I don't know the difference. You know what I'm saying? So I was asking the owner the whole time. I'm still the DJ,
Yeah.
right? But I was asking him, I was like, dude, I don't want to be inappropriate
Or offend anyone.
Is this artist the P. Diddy of Persia? You know? Or I'll be like, these songs sound like they match, but is this way too old and this is new, or vice versa? Or is this guy talking about like breaking up with somebody and this one's talking about making love to somebody?
Yeah.
You know, I want to make sure that everything is right, and I don't mind humbling myself to ask an expert. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, I think a real friend group, you don't necessarily like feel the shame when they talk about it.
Okay.
I think it's more of like a teasing, but yet a learning thing where your friends actually help encourage you. Like, bro, you can't do that. You gotta try this next time. And you try it, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then you know.
I'm teaching my brother how to flirt. My youngest brother.
Oh my God.
Teach me how to flirt.
Yeah, let's go out, Vince. I'm a good wing woman.
You should take
really
my brother
am.
and be his
Let's
wing
go.
woman.
I
Yeah.
will wing woman.
Yeah,
Let's
I
do
always tell my
this.
brother, I'm like, you just have to be confident. Like girls really love confidence, not
Love.
cockiness, but confidence.
Okay, so
you know?
the question is what is a good like how would a guy flirt with you that would just get you going? Like, okay, so we're at a bar because you say you're gonna be a good wing woman, right?
Yeah.
So
he walks up to a girl. What would he say in a flirting manner to a girl that would attract that girl?
So, but attraction is already established. Is that correct?
No,
because
you see a girl.
because there's no magic word. I can't be like abracadabra, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so wet," you know?
If they don't find him attractive, they don't find him attractive.
Yeah. So
No, let's just say because it's flirting. So you're trying to flirt.
Okay.
You don't know how that answer is going to be.
Okay.
Right? Similar to how a girl bats her eye, but you're going, she's like 600 pounds, bro.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
she's flirting,
but she's
yeah.
why
flirting.
does she come out if she has pink eye?
Yeah.
Pink eye.
But okay, let's say the
Okay,
girl.
so what are your examples? You're
So-
in the dating game. What is a
Yeah,
what is
so-
a way that you would want a guy to flirt with you?
Yeah. What exactly?
You're at the bar.
Because flirting can be. It's really.
It
like,
always just starts with natural conversation. Like anytime I've ever found someone attractive, it's very rare that I see someone and I'm like, oh my gosh, like they're a very nice looking fellow.
Yeah.
You know, it takes a lot. But when it comes to me hanging out at a bar, because this has happened where I ended up sitting next to this guy and he wouldn't stop like talking to me. I was on my phone, I was reading a book, and he was like, why would you be at a bar reading a book? Kind of a thing. So he just kept talking to me, and then my accent came out, and he has an accent, and that's how it happened. It was just more of a natural kind of thing. I feel like for me, it has to be banter. I need banter.
So the thing is,
So if I speak to you with an accent,
no, it's not just the
no,
accent.
so my
I've grown.
my question is,
just come up and be like, "Oh my lord,
So-
the
so-
ring." It's like you're not even Vietnamese.
I
What the
know
hell?
your name.
yeah. So Vince has said he doesn't know how to flirt. Banter and talking and conversation is not necessarily flirting.
It can
But to
be,
girls,
it
so
is.
that's
if
a-
you can
no.
keep up.
But you're asking us, and we're girls,
Yeah.
so
No,
we're
no,
telling
no.
you.
So no.
But I don't ask a fish how to fish. Okay, go on.
No, so like just him talking.
Does a bear shit in the woods?
Yeah. Does he have to, like, okay? Vince tells a lot of dad jokes.
Right.
Right.
Is that would that be considered flirting to you guys?
Depends on the lady.
Like if she has daddy issues, let's go to the strip club after this.
Okay, we can't go and be like, oh, I'm going to hook you up with this girl. It's like, we got to feel out the vibe and you go with the night. Like when I go out and I try to find a man, I'm not going to find a man. Like,
No,
I'm
but
not.
I mean,
it's
there's-
always based on vibes.
There's
So-
also
so-
that game you can play. Have you met Ari?
No, because for a girl, my definition of if a girl's flirting, she's looking, she's doing this.
Oh, eyes, for sure.
Yeah, but
It's
for a
very
guy,
obvious.
it's now conversation, so it's really confusing.
Okay,
to a
so
guy.
I'm gonna start this, and I know you're gonna agree with me. Girls are big on the smirk.
Yes.
That is every girl I have ever talked to. If we want to talk basic, girls like that kind of like cute, flirtatious smile. That is
Yeah.
your best opening.
It's like, hey, baby.
Yeah,
Like
like
that?
where you're not like, you know, like being creepy.
Hey.
Yeah, like,
Like full on Grinch? Just
Oh, I love Grinch.
so you have like a cute smile when you're like laughing, right? So there's like, and then you have this like twinkle in your eye when you're doing the smirk to Leia. I've seen it, you know? So like there's a very specific smirk that guys give that is like almost like the first little baby step in, right? Because girls notice that right away. They'll be like, oh my God, I like his smile. Like he had kind of a cute little smirk.
Smile always gets me.
Stupid fucking Anthony, as short as he is, that stupid fucking smile got me. That stupid smirk. I'll tease him all the time about it because our son has that smirk, and I'm like, there's that stupid fucking smirk.
doesn't do it for you?
Oh, that's
man,
crazy.
my pants are wet now. Sorry.
Oh, no, Niagara Falls.
So there's that, right?
Yeah.
And then there's little bits of chivalry. Like if you're at the bar and you see she's waiting, and you're like, oh, here, did you want to go first?
Yep.
That's another one.
Yep.
Like that will kind of get
Giving
you
me a
in.
seat,
Giving you a
that
seat,
part.
or hey, I see you standing. Like here, take my seat.
Yeah.
So like if you're talking like literal like little baby steps types of flirting, the smirk, the baby chivalry, making someone laugh. Like the dad jokes work if you're already in. Like if
Yeah.
if you've stand by her at the bar and she's drinking something and be like, so like what, we're double fisting now?
No,
you know, like something
literally,
like that.
I
like
don't
green
think
light.
you girls know how to flirt.
Huh?
Because, okay, so this is a hot take, right? But
Okay, wait.
but you guys, so you guys get compliments. If I were to do the advice that you give to me, I don't think that anything that I would take from that would stand out. Versus if I saw you at the bar and I went up to
Have
you
you
and
tried
just,
any of these theories?
yeah. So here's one. If I saw you and I liked you at the bar, I was like, hey, can you order me a water? And then I'll just sit down.
What?
If she brings me the water, that means that she's like
If
a
someone
nice
asked me to order them a water, I'd be like, you can order your own.
Yeah, without
Yeah.
the smirk or the banter
Yeah.
or the chivalry, that's not happening.
And that's completely fine. And that
That's
weeds
not
out.
flirting.
No, that weeds out. But then I've had somebody bring it to me and I was all like, oh, cool. I didn't want a bottle of water. I just want tap water. But I appreciate that. I'll get the next round. And then we started talking and everything like that. You know, but it's, but okay, at the end of the night, are you going to remember
Pan
all
on the
of
facial expression, guys.
Hold on. Think of this. At the end of the night, are you going to remember everybody that called you beautiful or the one person that made you order them water?
the one person called me beautiful.
Oh no, I'm gonna go home and talk shit about the person.
I'm gonna be like, why the fuck did that fool
But
have
I
me
think it
buy
stands
get
out,
a
bro.
water?
But you set yourself up for failure initially.
I just told you no,
And you
don't
get lucky,
do that.
you-
Vince.
Yeah, you got lucky if there was someone that fell for that. But I'm talking about like general, like the stuff that I named are things that I have talked to multiple women about, or like when I talk to friends and I'm like, so what made you get their attention? Like she said, it's very rare that you find a guy that's actually fine, that like there are good looking guys out there, but it's very rare that you go to a bar, you go to a public place and you're like, that guy's fucking
never,
fine.
Ever. It's not
It's
always
these little
like that.
nuances, in my opinion,
Right.
girls in the comments, please agree or disagree. It's the little nuances that does separate them. Because I will remember the guy that kind of flashed me the cute smile.
Yeah.
But it also has to be all of it. You can't just flash me a smile and think like, oh, that's enough.
Yeah.
Like smile, walk away. No,
this sounds really bad, but I didn't like the ex I was with for 4 years. I didn't like him until like we were friends, and then like one day I was like, he looks really nice today, and because I liked him as a person, and then I became attracted to him.
right.
You
So
know,
attraction can grow. That's another thing.
Yeah.
It can.
Well, I think that attraction grows more with a girl as opposed to like with a guy.
Well, that's because guys are
Yeah, we're attracted and then we start
Very
losing.
visual men.
Yeah.
guys are very
Visual
visual. So
people.
that's what I was going to say is the difference between flirting with guys and girls, right? Like girls, it can grow with a little nuance, like behaviors. With a guy, I know that I could flash him a smile and haha him, but if he
Yeah.
thinks I'm fucking gross, he's not going to give a shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
literally.
So
Because I'm pretty sure all of my exes didn't start liking me. I just grew on them.
but that's
In or
that's
in
so
them.
sad.
No, I don't, it's not sad. I'm just like, maybe I have an okay personality. You know what I'm saying?
You do have an okay personality, so
But
that
that,
makes
that,
sense.
that
I
was
think you're funny.
that was the reason why I asked that question, because it's basically when you say just a conversation, it's pretty vague. So if somebody's listening to this and wanting to learn from it,
Right, exactly.
it's not just you go up there in a dry conversation. You have to give, show that chivalry. You want to see it, then help them
I
up.
think
put
good
your hand
things
out.
take time.
Yeah.
You know, and nothing good comes easy. So
But I think that that's kind of like speaking to the topic. It's like you're talking about getting your first foot in the door still, right? Like,
Yes.
because you're right. Like when you get to know someone,
I mean,
you
that's the
can
hardest
grow,
part, right?
yeah,
Is getting the foot in the door. So
showing
yeah.
interest.
And then as far as like what you said, like girls flirting, where it's like, well, guys are more visual. I think the difference between girls and guys in flirting is we don't even start the flirtation until we know the guy is into us back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless you're like her and you're calling someone zaddy walking down the door.
Okay, this man was shirtless. He just ran. He has abs for the visual. There was a lot happening. Beautiful man. Hi.
I would have said the same thing if a man that even married,
Same
I would have been
here.
like, oh shit.
Yeah,
Beautiful human.
probably.
So yeah.
Have you seen Rich's calves?
Oh my gosh.
We
Them
love
calves,
calves.
though. Them calves though. Okay, so how do you think you got your current partner? Like what flirtation did you do in the beginning? If you can recall back. Because obviously, like, yes, you knew each other, you were friends, but flirtation had to happen to go there. What were your flirting moves?
Like when we sat down, I'd sit closer to her.
Oh, that too. Like girls like
yeah.
the closeness.
Yes, for sure.
And basically like when, because you test it. It's also like a test, right?
Yeah.
You get close and then you show her something, and if she moves away, then it's like, okay, then I know kind of where the boundaries
boundary.
are. But if they
Ooh, good point.
if they lean in, then it's kind of like,
You know that they're
Yeah.
giving you the same energy back. Okay.
yeah. But we went to the zoo. We went to the reptile park, obviously,
Yeah.
the reptile house, and it was basically you just kind of feel it. But you have to kind of get your foot in that door, and
Right.
that's where like the flirting happens.
Yeah.
And you kind of get yourself.
I like that tip. So you kind of like sat close to her, kind of showed her some stuff. She leaned in.
Well, we went to
That's cute.
Cuffin the night before, and we were dancing.
yeah.
Wait, that's so cute.
Yeah, I think I don't know.
Oh yeah, if you're talking about a club, you'll know immediately. If you start backing it up on a girl or she starts backing it up on you, if the girl likes you, she'll reciprocate. If she don't like you, she'll immediately turn to her friends and be like,
Yeah, literally.
and they'll find a reason to not dance with you.
Yeah, but there was like, I don't know. There's a lot of things that could have like that night could have made her not really interested. But she stuck around, so that kind of like gave me
the foot in the door.
the foot in the door.
That's so cute. Y'all went to cuffing.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
We went to K-pop night the night before.
Okay,
met her,
so
and then
we
we went
gave
to
you
cover.
little specific nuances on how to flirt with a girl that's brand new. What would you say you would give advice to girls to flirt with a guy that's brand
Oh
new?
my God. Be like,
Just be direct? Is that how you guys
okay,
are?
be direct and be very, very clear. I don't understand how I messed this up, right? I bought donuts. I bought donuts for my girlfriend, right? And she's like, that's not what I meant. I'm like, you sent me a gif of Krispy Kreme and said, I want you to do this to me. So I bought you donuts.
Oh my God, I hate
And then
you.
you're like, why would you drop this off at my door? You should have come in. I was like, you only wanted donuts. Let me
She
know.
wanted the cream.
pie,
She wanted the cream.
Well, I left it for her.
No, she wanted your cream.
No.
Yeah.
Then she could have asked me that. She said very inappropriate things in front of people.
I don't know how we're gonna teach him how to flirt, guys.
Yeah, it's not happening. So for Vince,
But doesn't that make sense though? Like
No, because here's the thing.
it was very
Bec-
specific.
Because of society, because of the way girls don't want to look thirsty, because of the way we don't want our friends to talk shit, we will never be that direct unless we know that we're already engaged in a relationship. We're not going to say, can you come on my face? Like, we're not going to
No,
say that in the
literally.
flirting stage. That's not going to
And
happen.
that's screenshots, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
No, wait, when would she say that?
And you would even say it when you're in a relationship. It just seems like odd, like on a text message.
Yeah, you could.
I mean, you
You
could.
but it's like,
There-
for me, I've been like, I could never, like,
Yeah.
that doesn't do shit to me.
it's
Right.
It just depends on
The person.
the
Or, I mean,
relationship.
Yeah.
You know, I
Some
feel
people
like
like that.
everyone's dynamics are different with like
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah, I think that's why it's like different when you're in it and then opposed to flirting. Like, flirting is the basics, right? So,
Flirting's fun. Like it can be so fun.
But
with the
I
right person.
I think that, you know, like when Vince, he wants everything kind of like direct. I don't, for me, it doesn't have to be like really direct. If we go through, I had a great night. If we don't have anything going on, then we don't. Then we just kind of move on to the next.
yeah, you keep going with the flirting.
Yeah, I don't know about, you know, like you can't be direct with everybody.
Yeah, and I feel like that takes the.
I
so
wasted money. And I had to go to Claremont
donuts.
to drop it off to downtown.
yeah, 'cause
and you know how
Krispy
hard it
Kreme's
is to
there.
find parking downtown?
No, you didn't waste
That's
money.
real.
You spent good money, but you were just clueless.
Yes, because that
Yes.
investment
So
could have been
you
really
the
good.
intentions were there.
Wait, okay, so
She's had you spend money for a good cause, and you fumbled the bag.
That
so
part,
did okay, so to understand this,
that part.
was she saying she wanted me to take her there
No,
as like a date?
No, she literally sent you. Okay, girls, explain this to this man. Okay, when a girl sends you a picture of Krispy Kreme donuts and they say, "I want you to do this with me," they are trying to not in a slutty way say, "I want you to Krispy Kreme on me."
Yeah, she wants she wants
No,
your
that
glaze.
sounds messy. Like why?
Get this man some baby wipes. no, literally.
I have baby
Everything's
wipes.
fine.
He doesn't
No.
need baby wipes because he hasn't glazed anything.
Crazy.
So
Another-
is okay. So if she just
Okay, if
told
you're
me
this
she
girl,
wanted me to take
if
her,
you're a girl, if you are this girl and you are watching this, which I hope you do because there's a lot of juicy things about you, please send Vince a text message that says the girls were right, you are an idiot. That's it. Just say that.
That's all.
Let's just say he misinterpreted it, right?
Okay.
If he showed up, knocked on the door with the donuts,
Said, are you
that'd
ready?
be no. And if he's well, you said you wanted donuts, wouldn't that be a little bit more endearing to you guys?
Yes,
like how cute,
Yes,
right?
it'd be adorable.
But now when you leave
like,
it at your
no,
door,
you dumb dumb,
Oh,
come
and that's
here.
another thing. If you would at least have done the knock on the door
Yeah.
and faced her face to face, there is a 50-50 chance, right? If
Right,
she
right.
just wanted the donuts, oh my God, you're so sweet. Thank you for the donuts. If she wanted the other stuff, should have been like, thank you for the donuts.
Yeah,
Come
and
on
you
in.
would have gotten
yeah.
no, but isn't that like a chivalrous thing where because I left it there and I took a picture of it and then I sent it to her after I left.
no, you were DoorDash, bro.
Yeah, basically. But it's it's basically me not thinking or not implying that I want something in return.
She wanted something.
She
in
wanted
return.
something. She was telling
She got
you
the
that.
donuts.
But that's not what she
That's
wanted.
not the
Whole
investment she
dozen.
wanted.
This guy.
Okay.
Dude,
All right,
we
we're gonna
keep
move
talking
on
about
from the
donuts,
donuts.
and now I want donuts.
That does sound good.
You have your man. Yeah, you have your work cut out for you, wing woman.
Yeah,
I
you
know.
do.
I don't know what I signed up for, guys.
Yeah.
Pop the balloons. I'm just kidding.
One of the other things I wanted to touch on too, because this was my personal experience, and I've talked about this a little bit on the podcast too. I feel like for girls, niceness is considered or can be mistaken for flirting. And even though we're not meaning to. So how do you guys want us to be nice but not lead you on? Because I'm super nice. Like, I'm nice to everyone. I love giving compliments. I'm a complimentary person to strangers. And I have upset a couple of dudes in my past because they're like, well, you led me on. You were giving me compliments. You were super sweet to me. And I'm like, but I'm like that with fucking everyone.
Everyone,
So
literally.
what would be your advice to women out there so that a guy knows the difference?
That's the guy's fault.
Okay.
It is the guy's fault.
It's the guy's
Okay.
fault.
I like that answer.
I mean, you led me on. No, you led yourself on.
That.
You took yourself on this fantasy of of thinking that because I'm nice, you could possibly get in my pants.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never implied that. I
Mm-hmm.
was just being nice to you. You put yourself in that situation.
That's real.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's this guy that I work with right now. I don't know if he's. I've told you about the guy. He
Yes.
seems a little slow, but I don't know. He's like, he played football, so I think he might have got hit in the head a couple times.
Just a few.
But me and one of my other coworkers who has like big tits like me, you know, we call him the reckless eyeballer because I hope he doesn't watch this. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. He's gonna get his feelings so hurt. So because he's so nice, but he's also not. So he's like he comes and talks to me all the time whenever he works at our work, and he's always like, "Hi, Ari," but he's got reckless eyes, right? He's like this. Hi, Ari. Hi.
Oh
Like,
my God.
in my tits, right? And then he'll look at your butt every 5 seconds. Like his eyes are always wandering, like looking up and down, and he does that with any girl that he thinks is hot. And I'm always nice to him, and I'll literally be eating lunch by myself with my headphones in, trying to get alone time, and I'll be like, "Hi, Ari," and he'll be like, "I'm gonna join you, okay?" And he'll sit, and he'll just eat with me, even though I've made it super obvious that I don't want him to sit with me. And then he's like, "It's my birthday next week. I'm gonna have this party. You're gonna come, right?" Like he's just always inviting me to things, and I have to tell him no. You know, he'll send me pictures of sunsets and be like, because I told him I like sunsets and things like that. And I'm just kind of like, I don't know what's not clicking because I think he's mistaking my niceness for flirting, even though he knows I wear my ring, I talk about my kids, you know,
It's you're in the hospital though.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
He works
There's-
there at the hospital.
Hospitals, nurses, and doctors are probably very well known for their infidelity.
Yep.
Well, he's a security guard.
It doesn't.
You're still in a
You're still in the
hospital.
hospital.
There
Oh,
are
I see
beds
what you're
available. You spend a lot of
saying.
time together.
Yes, you have graveyard shifts. You have
Right.
Look,
Oh,
if
I
you look,
see what
if
you're
you look at the
saying.
stories,
So he thinks I'm going to do that.
you possibly could.
But
Yeah,
ew,
because
no.
no,
No, I'm saying,
but think
there's
of
a
it.
chance.
Throw that fantasy in the trash.
Yeah.
Nurses or medical field. When it comes to being in the hospital, I'm not talking about EMTs and stuff, but
A lot
Is
of
that like a
EMTs
fact?
do.
Yeah, it's a fact.
lot of EMTs do.
Is it really?
yeah, they
I've heard a lot.
I need to look this
Yeah.
up. I did not
Yeah.
know that.
there's a high level of infidelity.
I've worked in healthcare my whole entire life, almost.
And
I've never heard that.
You've never heard of
I've
people.
heard a
like-
lot with paramedics
No.
from other sources.
Maybe just because I'm not like that, so maybe it was over my head. I didn't know that was a thing. Interesting.
I learned a lot in the optician world after I got out of it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm so sorry. You're so nice, and if you watch this because he's low key a little bit,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to be mean. I'm just saying that there's boundaries. My friend had to lie and say she was married and she's super single
yeah.
just to get him to
Can we
chill.
not put the optician thing? Because what if I need that job still later?
True. Mm-hmm.
Wait, the single friend that has the same breasts as you. Where's she at?
She's gonna come to. Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
Who's texting me? His ears are burning. Oh
Oh my God, he's watching right now.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
He screenshot it and editor put that in the
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
put that in the thumbnail.
Yeah. Well,
Don't watch.
Okay, so
That's the
yeah.
caption.
Anyways, I don't even know what I was talking about anymore.
Sorry.
That text just threw me for a loop right now.
yeah. Sometimes it's like that's. I mean, sometimes guys just love to chase, and that's the chase.
What is he chasing if she's like completely unenthused though? Because isn't part of the thrill like getting some feedback,
Like going
of the
back and
chase?
forth, but
Yeah,
there is no back
like
and
the
forth.
push and pull, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the attraction
But
behind it?
mentally, he's thinking that he can break you down.
Damn.
Honestly,
some
that
people
could
do
also
have
be
that.
practice.
True.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just really isn't all there.
I think that might be part of it.
Yeah.
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 Because a lot of people have
Like-
noticed. They're like, I think he's special. Like people have said
Yeah.
that. And I'm like, oh, okay. Which is why I continue to be
Yeah.
really nice.
Really
because
kind with him.
he does kind of seem special. So I'm like, I don't want to.
As long as you
mean.
still have clear boundaries for your safety, that's
Yeah.
like all that matters.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, like, with my fake girlfriend, I actually go on dates and stuff with her, just because if I do meet somebody that I want to be my real girlfriend, I want to be mentally prepared.
That makes sense.
You know, for that. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I thought too. Remember, I had to be mentally prepared. Then it
Like
was
Vince, I'm taking applications for fake boyfriends.
I'll be your
Maybe,
fake boyfriend.
maybe not.
That's easy. Yeah, as long as you don't expect anything.
I
Like
want the pink bean bag.
he wants to know the full
I too
whole-
want the pink bean bag.
What is the fourth hole? We still need to know. Drop it in the comments. Boom, 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 boom.
Okay, last thoughts on flirting. Tell it to our viewers. What are your final thoughts, final advices, final somethings on flirting?
I mean, if you're a teen or you're young, get off Instagram. Go meet a girl and practice flirting.
I like
Like,
that.
you know,
I
go
like
go have a
that.
great conversation with somebody offline. See him face to face.
Yeah, let's bring back the
Yes.
old school.
Yeah.
Bring back the old school. I love that. Like, I don't know, the old school in me says have fun with it. Go out for milkshakes. Share a milkshake. How cute is that? Go to Corvette Diner. I'm all manifesting. Go to Kate Sessions Park. Like, get a sandwich and sit there and
Watch your
the
step though. You might
sunset.
roll down.
Oh yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot of gopher holes.
Yeah, and
but-
also because it goes back to our previous episode. Not everything a guy does that's nice is simpy. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's just to win your heart.
and it can be kindness.
Or to
Give the nice
get you
guy
to
a
quit
chance.
bugging me.
What?
The donuts?
Well, okay, yeah. That's my advice, ladies. Like, don't punish me for doing something that you asked for.
The donuts, the fourth hole.
Maybe.
Yeah. Wow. There was 12 of them too.
That's crazy.
Okay, so your final thoughts or advices on flirting.
Yeah, don't punish me for doing something that you asked me for. Clearly.
So you want a girl to be more literal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
I don't know that all guys want that, girls, but Vince does if you're
Yeah.
his future girlfriend.
okay,
For the dating show.
With that said, I had a conversation with a good friend of mine. She's been on this podcast, and she
only
actually
There's only one.
no. There's the other one. I could think of 4 off the top of my head, but this particular person, we're having conversation about how society views things, and she's all like, "You can't keep on talking on generals." I was like, "Yeah, everything is based on generalities, or my decisions are." And she said, "Well, what about you?" Because the topic or the thing that we were talking about was, I think that girls are useless to have as friends, to be honest with you, right? And I stand by this. And she said, "But aren't we friends?" I said, "Yeah, but that's an exception." And she said, "You can't talk generally and then say that there's exceptions." And I told her, everything that you do is based on exceptions. And she's all like, "So why do you have generalities?" I said, "Because that's just how things are. But every decision that you make is based on exceptions." Right?
I call that convenience.
Well, it could, but it's exceptional convenience, right?
I don't know.
Because how many
about all
cars
that.
cost as much as your Lexus?
A lot.
Yeah, but that Lexus for some reason was an exception. Whether it was because it was a hybrid, it looked nice, and the way it made you feel, that's an exception to all the other cars that cost around that amount of money. the guys that you have around you, right? Your significant other or the person that you choose to sleep with is an exception, because if there were no exceptions, you would sleep with all of them.
No, but it's like saying
I
chicken
think
tastes
that-
bad except when it's fried, baked, rotisserie. It's like you're making these exceptions for your own benefit. So you can't speak on a general. It's general. You can't say this is generally applies except for when it's convenient for me on these terms.
No, but
that I've
okay.
set forth.
But let's say it's like this, right?
That's valid.
Girls aren't funny, right? Generally,
I'm
they're
fucking
not funny.
hilarious.
I'm so
I don't know
funny.
what you're talking about.
I literally have been told I'm the funniest person my friend Kadeem has ever met. I will get him on the show.
But
Please.
those exceptions are the ones that you choose to hang around.
So you're saying, generally speaking, girls are such and such, but the ones you choose to have in your life are your exceptions.
Yeah,
I think girls are funny.
I think that's hilarious that you're that delusional.
Delulu
I
till it
will.
becomes
I'll laugh
Tralulu.
at girls.
You
But
do
I don't
laugh
think,
at girls a
yeah,
lot. It's mean.
But I don't think that they're. I don't think that they're
Not
funny.
nice. He's not allowed to go to
I
a
think
hair school. You
it's
might get in
maybe-
trouble there, man.
I think
It's okay.
I don't know. When I process what he's saying, I feel like it's the verbiage that you use, right? Because you say like, girls are such and such, but this is the exception. But I think it's just like, I don't know how to put this in words. Like, really, you're just talking about different relationships that you have with girls. Like, these are my friends, and these are people I don't care about.
Yeah.
you
No,
know?
but every like I said, everything has an exception. Generally, every phone can make can access Google Chrome. Every phone can take a picture. Every phone can get apps. But the exception to that is your iPhone allows you to not have green bubbles, or it allows you to not have this, and so that's why you chose that one. Your choices are based on the exceptions.
But I think your broadness and your generality is on the negative, which makes it makes it invalid, so to speak.
How is
it's
it?
like saying all girls are whores except the ones I hang out with.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and maybe that's why I hang out with them, because they're not whores.
That's
You know what I'm
like
saying?
a whole other topic.
Yeah.
I mean, it just
Because
No,
I agree
but-
with that. It's like this negative thing, so that's why it's invalid. Because
it's like almost like you live in this like negative like bubble, and it's like I don't know. It's like
But what's a generality that you can make?
Asian guys have small penises.
Okay. So, but you yourself said that Ackright has a big one.
I mean, it's a good, decent size. Yeah.
There. So, but that's an exception.
but
Yeah.
that's not a general. That's more like a stereotype. When you say generality, it's almost like a real.
I mean,
physical
generalities
thing.
can be stereotypes. too,
Okay,
but
so
I don't know.
generality, all guys are masculine,
Okay.
but that's a positive thing. So that's like a
Okay. So maybe.
okay. So I can't think of one. You
So
think of
maybe
one, Kuya.
maybe of those masculine men, you chose the exceptional one, the one that's more masculine than the others, or the one that's not a jerk about it. You know what I'm saying? So they're the exceptions to that rule.
I guess what it means to be masculine too. I think everything is still all based on perspective.
No, but you're focusing on the
exception.
I
No,
think
Such a positive
I just think
person.
I just think when we live life with generalities that are on the negative, it's just that we don't. It's like
It closes you off to a lot of things.
to
I feel.
opportunity.
it just I don't know. I just don't like. I don't know. It feels like it feels suffocating.
But it's not.
agree.
It's not all negative. Like you have a closet full of clothes, but for some reason the outfits that you chose made you feel an exceptional way. Whether you thought
No, but
that it
the
was more
the
slimming or
examples
whatever.
you gave initially were all.
But it doesn't matter, because the fact of the big picture is that everything is based, or it's safer to base things on generalities, but you're gonna make your decisions on exceptions.
Okay, I feel like this is a whole nother topic. We're gonna have to
Yeah,
wrap
yeah.
that up
Oh,
because
sorry.
we need more opinions on this. 'Cause
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like this is a kind of like a
is a
mind
juicy
fuck. Yeah, I
topic.
like this topic. We're gonna circle back on this because
Okay.
that's actually a good topic. I like that.
Yeah.
We should probably have that mystery friend on.
The one with the boobs. Like, that's all he's thinking about right now.
No. The one that I was talking about.
Oh,
the
yeah.
one that I had this
With
conversation with.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were still talking about the boobs.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
you should.
funny.
Because,
I'm thinking of the boobs.
Oh, okay.
But I'm
Because she has boobs,
yeah.
but he only hangs out with girls with boobs.
Wait, I'm curious if
Are
somebody
they
can count how
exceptional?
many times I look down her shirt, because I think that I've maintained eye contact majority of the time.
Yeah. You're doing good. Growth.
Yep.
Nice.
All right, you guys. So flirting, exceptions, all the things. If you have stuck around for the whole episode, thank you so much for tuning in. And, you know, we really appreciate you guys that have stuck by us through seasons 1 through, what are we on? 5? You guys are awesome. Thank you for watching this episode and hoping that you'll watch more to come.
Yeah, and share with us your flirting.
What's your move?
Stories.
What's your
Yeah.
move?
Move, your stories, whatever.
Yes, please do. All right, you guys. Thank you again for tuning in. And you know what it is. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye.